Let me first start by thanking you for taking the time to talk to us. And I'd like to welcome you to this beautiful country where you have this beautiful place we can have a conversation. And I was just thinking before we started that it's a very interesting symmetry that you are coming in a country where for 45 years the communists tried to abolish inner life. And you've been doing art of living for 45 years now, and you've also had your birthday. So there's a lot of things happening, and this is your first time in Romania. So again, welcome. But could you please tell me, why did you choose this moment? Is this just a happening, or why are you here?
Well, though I'm very late to coming to Romania, I'm happy that I could make it. So this trip I am coming to Romania, I'm also going to Macedonia, those countries which I have not been in this region for all these years. See, it's very important that we share what we have. So I've come only to share the inner strength and the inner life, as you correctly mentioned. Today, when there is so much of tension, uncertainty, and sort of gloomy atmosphere, it's all the more necessary for us to bring the inner peace.
Only inner peace or also world peace? Because this is a very tricky moment.
It's the inner peace which I feel is the basis for outer peace. Only peaceful individual can create peaceful atmosphere, right? If someone is disturbed, they only create more disturbance around them. And especially for people with responsibility, when they have so much to do and deliver, they have to find the inner peace.
How do you actually are able, how can you actually help someone achieve inner peace in order to promote peace? Because my question comes just a few days after you've been to St. Petersburg, and you've been talking at the famous St. Petersburg Economic Forum. And I was curious, how do you manage to go from one country to the other, and what do you actually try to achieve by talking to these people? Because from our perspective, from our vantage point, we do not see peace coming from St. Petersburg.
Communication breaks down when there is no trust. And trust breaks down because of perceived threat from the other. When I think you are going to be dangerous for me, then I start putting walls. I stop communicating. And then I start becoming aggressive. That is a human psychology, it's a human nature. So we need to build trust, number one, then put sense into people. And this can happen only when someone calms down. An agitated person cannot, create peace around them. So it is very important, especially for decision makers, lawmakers, business and industry. You name it, every section of society today needs to learn how to let go of stress, how to get over the stress, how to communicate, how to create the sense of belongingness in the whole world. Our slogan has always been in Art of Living that the world is one family. So we have to create that sense of belongingness. Today, you see in schools and colleges, our youth are swinging on one side from aggression or depression. If 1/4 of the population in this world is suffering from depression, it's a huge number. You can't feed antidepressant to people. Even that stops working after a while.
Medication doesn't actually work so much.
So that is where, meditation, breathing exercises, and wisdom help people to, come together. We have done this. We have done conflict resolution in many parts of the world.
That's why I'm asking, because you've been successful at this. Can we use your technique, let's say, into solving a local war we have around here?
Definitely, definitely. That's why I keep traveling and I try to meet people.
Take me into the room. So what do you actually say to a leader when you're trying to achieve peace? Did you have the chance to talk to any important, relevant leaders in St. Petersburg, let's say?
No, I would say, whether it's Ukraine or Russia conflict or Iran and Israel conflict, all these conflicts need mediators. And the mediators need to have trust from both sides. Both sides should trust the mediator. That type of bridge builders are essential today. I hope soon these conflicts would end and neutral countries can play a bigger role. And of course, I'm always ready, available to play any role wherever I can jump in and bring peace. That is my nature to do that. I'm ready to do that.
Did you have any communication of this sort with the Russian side, let's say?
As I said, I'm always ready and open, and I will communicate when things are right at right time.
Okay. What do you actually are trying to tell to very angry people? Because you've been working with very confrontational parties, let's say, in many parts of the world, Colombia, even in India, and now, let's say, I'm talking about this local conflict. Take me into the room with you when you're talking to these people. What buttons are you trying to press?
I don't prepare my talk or agenda. I don't go with an agenda to people. I just go, I'm there, and it's not just by words that people change. The same question what you're asking was asked by many media people when the Colombia thing happened. They said,
I'm sorry to repeat the question then.
No, that's good. I mean, that's a valid question. The media asked me, what is that you said that the FARC agreed? Because they didn't agree with the European Union. America tried, they didn't agree. What is the thing that you said that the Colombian rebels agreed to follow the Gandhian principle of non-violence and eschew violence? I said, it's not what you say, it's what you are makes a difference. If you are calm, if you are peaceful, then you can, transmit that vibration to others. If you are yourself agitated, you can only, create that type of atmosphere, that type of vibrations. So we must know that it's more than the words or the contents of the words. There is something else works. And that something else, I would say, is the collective consciousness.
I would also like to understand where you're actually coming from, because I've been reading and listening to how you came to your, let's say, your way of bringing people together. And I was thinking to myself that I never had 10 days of silence. Just imagine silence for 10 days. I cannot imagine. None of my friends, none of my family, I cannot. So
it appears to be very difficult. So I'm really, that's why you don't need 10 days of silence, even 3 days of silence. And you need help there. You need someone who can guide you through meditation. Just being quiet somewhere, your mind still runs, but you need certain techniques, processes by which you can bring that calmness deep within you. And once you learn it, then it's very easy.
That's interesting, because if you could teach me I would love to understand. You will go from here to the event. You will be joined by 4,000 people here, but you will have to drive. Someone will take you with a car.
Correct.
Please look outside at my Romanian people, and you will see some of them very angry. We live in a society now where, like you said, many of us are very angry. Where do you feel that all this anger comes? In a part of the world that, if you look at India and Romania, there's a bit of difference in terms of, let's say, access to roads, some amenities, and stuff like that. So why are we angrier, let's say, than Indians?
As I said, it's a stress level. Because we have never been taught at home, neither at home nor in school, how to manage the mind, how to manage negative emotions. We keep suppressing our emotions, feelings, and then it bursts. Today's youth, not just in Romania, all over the world, are facing this challenge. Either they get so aggressive, at the drop of the hat they lose their temper, or on the other side, they get so depressive and they get suicidal.
Yes.
So these two extremes is the cause of mental health issue in the world. And the solution for that is consciousness. Learn about the mind. Learn about your breathing. See, your breath, you keep breathing whatever is your mood or mind is. If you learn about your breath, you can get over both depression and this anger or rage in you. And this has happened. It's happening world over now, all over the world. We have been teaching this in 170 universities in United States of America. In Europe, about 70 universities in Europe. In India, more than 1,000 universities and colleges. 192 nations today recognize the power of meditation. In United States, United Nations, all these countries came together 2 years back in 2024, and they declared World Meditation Day. 30, 40 years back when I said the same thing, meditation, people would raise their eyebrows. I said, this is not for me. Today, the world understands the benefits of meditation, how it is necessary, it helps people to be more sane, more sensitive, more sharp in the intellect, more intuitive. These are the things that we need, right?
Some schools are starting to teach children about social emotional learning. So something is starting there. But please, for my technical, let's say, audience, mostly men watching, they need to understand the mechanics. How does it actually work? So what did you actually achieve by these 10 days of silence? What did you actually understood about breath? Because we all know how to breathe because we are alive. But do we?
Yes. Though we all breathe, we seldom pay attention to our breath. Your breath has different rhythms, and they are linked to our different moods in the mind. When you are happy, your breath moves in certain rhythm. When you are unhappy, it's in certain rhythm. Actually, we don't even take deep breaths enough. So our breath has a lot of secrets to offer us. So it can boost your energy level. Just 10 minutes of breathing techniques can help you. At the same time, it brings focus and clarity in the mind. So we have many techniques of breathing and meditation together that we teach. We have 67 different workshops, courses. It doesn't take much time to learn about.
Of
2
course.
days, 3 days, couple of hours.
But this is at an empirical level. Take me deeper. What actually happens in the mind and in the body when I adjust, when I modify breathing?
A lot of things happen. We have more than 100 research work which has happened on this. and 700 and odd research work on breathing and meditation combination. So it's scientifically proven today that, your body-mind link is through the breath.
Okay.
So your breath can, impact your cortisol level. It can reduce the stress level in the body. And hundreds of benefits are there. So that is one thing. Second is learning about our own inner faculties, our mind, our intellect. Just an awareness, mindfulness about it makes a huge difference. Wherein, you are able to have a say over your own moods. Otherwise people feel, oh, I feel so bad, and you feel so bad, but you don't know how to get out of it. Correct?
Yes.
That is the problem. Here, when you learn how to just snap out of your bad moods and be yourself, be so centered, you make a big difference. And that is the reason 1 billion people around the world today have learned about all this.
I've been asking you this because you have a science degree at 17 years old, and then after getting a science degree at 17, you've spent 45 years teaching breathing, leaders, prisoners, faction warriors and stuff like that. So for, let's say, a more technical person like an engineer, talking about breathing sounds a little bit vague. But nowadays, I just learned that if you pull out your tongue like this for 40 seconds, you lower your cortisol.
Yeah, this is just one. These are part of the yoga techniques. You are just selectively sticking the tongue out, or moving your eyes, rolling your eye rotation. This is all, this is all ancient knowledge. This is nothing new.
For us, it might be. It could be.
Because it's been said in bits and pieces, Neck rotation makes a huge difference.
Okay.
And similarly, eye movement can bring up your energy and release your pain. Mm-hmm. Neck and shoulder pain that goes away. There's so many things about it. I, for one who is I always see that everything should be seen scientifically. So whether meditation or breathing, everything needs to be looked from an angle of science. And anything that doesn't stand the scrutiny of science, one need not accept, because today we are in a scientific age. So all these techniques are all very scientific only.
We need to say that the science is evolving and research is still ongoing.
Very much.
Very much so. Back on your science degree, because you're very passionate about quantum physics, and nowadays we have a big conversation about artificial intelligence, a major source of, let's say, inspiration, but also depression for many of my viewers. When I say artificial intelligence, does it make your cortisol rise, or you just stay calm?
Artificial intelligence is something everyone should welcome, because it's challenging your intellect to be much more original and more creative. It is not an impediment. This anxiety, I will lose my job, and should be put aside, because artificial intelligence is only challenging you to be more creative and more productive. So I for one would accept, will welcome artificial intelligence. And also there is something I would say as absolute intelligence. That is when you explore your consciousness, the study of consciousness is absolute intelligence. And it's so fascinating.
You've been talking about, as a counterweight to artificial intelligence, about absolute intelligence. What do you actually mean by absolute intelligence?
That which made everything, including artificial intelligence, that consciousness in you is what the absolute intelligence is. That which is at the basis of the whole universe. The basic substratum of the universe is absolute intelligence. What you are is absolute intelligence. Studying your own consciousness and how everything is consciousness in the universe, that is absolute intelligence.
More than 80% of Romanians declare themselves as Orthodox Christians. Would that absolute intelligence be God to them?
See, religion is something different. The religion it has its own benefits, its own place in one's life. I would say you should, whatever religion you follow, that is a different thing, different issue. But when it comes to science of consciousness, I would call this as spirituality, which is common, which unites people of all religions. So it doesn't actually come in the way of your religious beliefs or your prayers, whatever prayer you want to do. But this brings more depth, focus, clarity, and uplift one's spirit. I would say spirituality is that which keeps you with high energy and happiness from inside.
We don't have much time left. I would try to ask a harder question.
Yeah.
For someone like you, Gurudev. So you've spent the last 45 years telling other people how to find peace. When did you actually was the last time you felt like you lost peace for a second or a moment? And how did you get out of it?
See, I don't remember any such moment where I lost my temper or I became so agitated, I was upset. Not so far. I don't say that anger is bad. Anger is good if you are consciously using it. Like a mother sometimes gets angry at the children, but it doesn't disturb her sleep. It doesn't disturb her mind. She for a moment gets angry. She shows anger like that. Well, if you ask me, when did you get angry like that, I can count on my fingers. When I was involved in the tsunami, when there was tsunami disaster in Sri Lanka, in India, the coast, we were doing a lot of relief work at that time. So when I was traveling, that one of the volunteers who was working in that area, he had to distribute blankets to people, and he did not do it for a whole day because there was no camera to take pictures. His idea was that he wanted proof for himself so that he gave it away to people. Otherwise people may think he is... so he was more worried about his reputation. So he did not. I came and said, you're stupid, why did you do this? That was the moment I remember I was telling you, stupid, you should not do this. One night people had no blanket. But I would say such anger is okay when it is, it's like a line drawn on the surface of water. How long it stays? If it stays that long, it's healthy. But if it stays with you longer, it eats your own mind. It is disturbing your own system. This is where I would say meditation, breathing can help you, and it brings the childlike thing from deep within you, wherein like a child gets upset, but next moment it is back on track.
So again, happy birthday for your 70th birthday. From what I understand, even the Prime Minister Modi said he would like to come back for your 100th anniversary. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Still, you didn't name a successor for your work, and all the companies and universities and everything that's connected to Art of Living. Do you have any plans for a successor?
I have created so many teachers, 38,000 teachers around the world, and it is not the movement. I am not attached to one movement as such. Okay. I say the whole humanity is a movement.
Yes.
And at the best, we need to realize that our time in the planet is short, and so we do our best to bring more joy and happiness in the lives of people. And our teachers are doing. We have wonderful teachers, volunteer force, and we have millions of volunteers around the world, and who are, bringing that joy and relief and to people, and that's what makes me very happy, content.
I would like to thank you for your time. Our time here is limited. I would also like to acknowledge for my audience that there's also a lot of people with more questions that I would have liked to ask, maybe on another occasion, maybe when you come back.
Oh yeah. Sure.
There are also some harder topics that you've been asked about or addressed in the past. It's not easy peasy when you do 45 years of your work, but I really, really hope if there's any kind of success to your work, to the peace that you're trying to bring, maybe we can get a little piece of that peace.
Absolutely, sure. And it's wonderful talking to you, and I would like to invite you to come to India, and you can see our work, and you can, then we will have more time, we'll talk.
At least a little bit of time to just shut up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you to our viewers, and we'll see you for the next one.